Welcome to the Red Conrad Show, the story of my life and world events how I see them. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get this going. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe for subscriber-only content. You can find links to subscribe at show.redconrad.com. Subscriptions are available directly through Spotify, as well as through a Memberful account, where you can access subscriber-only content on any podcast listening platform. Whatever platform you prefer to listen to podcasts on, you will be able to listen to my subscriber-only content on that platform via a feed specifically for you through your Memberful account. Again, the links to the subscriptions can be found at show.redconrad.com. Hello everybody, how you doing? I'm changing the name of the VanLife sub-series to Nomad Life, which is really what I'm going to be discussing, even though technically I'm telling my story of my life as a van lifer. A lot of the topics I'm going to be discussing is really applicable to all the subsets of those living a nomadic life. Your full-time RVers, your car campers, tent campers, your van lifers, and all the other subsets. So rather than a VL tagging the front of the episode, so you know it's the stub series, not the main show, it's going to be an NL, standing for Nomad Life. I've already joined some groups on Facebook, so I can meet other nomads throughout the state, as well as throughout the country. I've already spoken to a couple people. One guy is south of me here in Florida. That's going to be going up north in a few months. And so if I can get prepared, get my van ready in time, I'm going to be caravanning with him up to where he's work camping. And I'm going to, if they have open positions still, I might try to fill an open position where he's work camping and work with him and the other nomads doing that job. And just stay there till the drive's over and move on from there. If they don't have an open positions and I'm able to go, because I didn't apply yet, because I don't know if my van's going to be ready in time to caravan with this guy. But if it is, and the positions are, all the openings are filled, I can either stay and do what I got already for work, because what I currently do for an income, I can pretty much do anywhere in the country. Make $100 a damn day, and then I can either stay somewhere for a day, make $100 and move on the next day, or whatever. Or I can just pay my buys to him, thank him for letting me caravan with him up there, and move on. And then there's another group working their way down to Florida around the same time. So as we're going up north, if I can meet caravan with him, the plans are going to be, as he passes through my area, I'm going to meet up with him, and then we're going to meet up with caravan coming down south, heading towards the Keys, and stay with them for a day or so before everybody separates. If my van's not ready by then, well, obviously I'm going to miss that opportunity to caravan with that particular group, but I can go out on my own when my van's ready, or I can find somebody else passing by, caravan with them a little bit until they get to where they're going, and we separate our ways from there. As far as what am I going to do for work? Well, what I do currently, I can do anywhere in the country. So to that extreme, or to that end, work really is an income while traveling really isn't an issue. I'm also looking into work camping, like I said. I joined some groups based just around work camping. That I can, based on which direction I want to head in, I can look for openings heading that way. The only downside to that is, those jobs are normally seasonal, so I'd be in that area doing that job, start to finish. But a lot of them do pay better than what I can do, where I can literally be in a city or town for a day or less, make my money and leave. The pay that I can get work camping would typically be better, but I'd be locked there for a couple months. I'm not going to start a job and then not finish it, And then those of you who have been following my show all along, because I believe I mentioned in one of my early episodes, I taught myself how to swing stock trade, or I said that backwards. Swing trade stocks. So basically, what that is rather than day trading, which to me, I feel day trading is too stressful. What swing trading is you basically you're investing in a stock, and now your money is tied up for anywhere from like a week to a month, sometimes 2 months. Um, but if you do it right, you'll have some good profit. And my goal is at some point where my swing trading is my primary income. So what I'm doing now for an income, and then work camping will really just be extra money, just play money, just fucking do what I do now. Fill my gas tank, buy some food, whatever, just play money, or get a work camping job just so I have the experience. I can get the experience, in that line of work, and have an excuse really to stay stationary in a certain area for a couple months. At least this way I can say, well, this area looks nice. Try to settle myself in somewheres, and then get bored or whatever, and just leave, and then get mad at myself for leaving earlier than I wanted to. If I have a work camping job, I can't do that because I can't start a job and then not finish it. I'd have to stay to finish that job. So work camping would give me the excuse to stay there. But the goal is eventually to have my stock trading become my primary income, so I don't need to do anything. All I have to do is Monday through Friday, spend about 5, 10, 15 minutes looking at my trades, whatever is ready to end, end those trades, clip my profits, monitor my other trades, check my charts to see if any of the stocks I'm watching are ready for me to initiate a new trade. And the whole rest of the damn day is wide open. I made my money for the damn day. I'm good to go. I can do whatever I want. That's my goal. That is my end goal. I mean, I didn't spend so long teaching myself how to do swing trading stocks to at some point not utilize it as a source of income. So job wise, while I'm nomading it, traveling the country, I've got that part figured out already. I got the income figured out already. It's the other shit, everything else involved. I mean, like I said, my van still needs work. I got quite a bit of mechanical work I need to do to it to make sure it's roadworthy for for that kind of traveling. There's a little bit more supplies I really need to get so I can better organize my van, and so it's better suitable for the travel and reality live out of. But that is what I'm looking at doing. How long am I going to be nomading it for before I settle down? I don't know. I really don't. That really depends on what God's plans for me are. I mean, for those of you who are new to the show, so I know I mentioned this part in the earlier episodes when I first started my podcast. For those of you that are new to my show, I am an ordained minister. I was born and raised Catholic, but I was never really religious. By the time I reached my teenage years, I messed around with atheism. I messed around with other ridiculous faiths. I messed around with agnosticism, and I was an agnostic up until what I believe was Jesus's voice in the back of my head, kind of pushing me to study. So I did. But I told God when I started my studies, I don't want anything held back from me. If I'm going to listen to you and I'm going to do this, I want to know the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Because the reason why I was an agnostic for so long, not quite an atheist, because I always believed something was out there, I just didn't know what. But the reason why I was agnostic and didn't call myself a Christian for so long is because I always viewed mainstream churches, all the mainstream denominations, each and every one of them has something wrong. Um, and if I'm going to believe, I want to believe in 100% the truth. And throughout my studies, that's exactly what I got. I do have a doctorate in divinity. Um, I got that in my ordination in 2010. In 2011, I opened up my own ministry, which I did work full time for 5 years, and then it kind of dropped down to a part-time basis as I started other businesses and other things to support myself. Um, but everything that I learned, everything that I saw, both leading up to my ordination as well as through my own ministry to people I was meeting all over the world, I seen too much to ever again to not believe. Like there's nothing that can happen to me and where I'll become a disbeliever. God's real. Jesus is real. It's just the way the mainstream does it, the way the mainstream teaches it, there's fallacies in it. I know I was going somewhere with this. Anyways, I believe that I'm where God wants me to be. If that makes any sense. So yeah, the past couple of years, a lot of bad things have happened to me. A lot of bad things. I lost my wife to cancer. My place got broken into. Um, I had my boat was stolen. My gun was stolen. A whole bunch of bad shit happened to me in a relatively short amount of time. And all this is happening, after a lifetime of bad shit. I literally went through fucking hell. When I have to believe that the life I lived and even the issues that I'm currently dealing with is I'm being prepared and directed towards what it was God had intended for me. And I can't really be mad about that. Am I upset that I lost my wife? Yes. Am I upset that after 13 years of living in what was a peaceful community, a peaceful neighborhood, all of a sudden I got broken into, got robbed, place trashed? Yeah, that upsets me. I am upset about that. But everything in my life that I've been through has been setting me up to be where I need to be, when I need to be there, to fulfill my purpose that God has for me. And I don't know at the moment where that's going to lead me. I thought it was, years ago, I thought it was as simple as He wants me to learn this shit so that I can get ordained, open my ministry, and help people see the truth. Help people see the real truth. So that's what I did. And then, over the years, I slowly realized that's not that simple. There's a whole lot more to it than that. But the people that I was meeting all around the world, the stories they told me and how they were benefiting from my work, that made me feel good. I didn't start my ministry, and I'm currently not in ministry for the money. And that's one of the reasons why, after full-timing for 5 years, I had to start a business, get a job, something to help me pay my bills. Because after 5 years of doing it full-time, there just wasn't enough donations coming in, and my savings were all eaten up, gone. I mean, we come down here from New York with a little bit of money. After 5 years of full-timing it, the ministry, well, that was gone. So I needed to do something to produce an income to take care of me and my wife and all of our animals. And I will I will say that one of my friends, close friends, I view him like a brother, was telling me he felt that I was kind of getting away from my purpose, and that what was happening to me was God trying to push me back toward my purpose. Um, in the past couple of weeks, I've come to realize that. So that's what I'm trying to do. When my van's ready, I'm going to nomad it across the country, see where God directs me. I've already been meeting people all over the country online, and we'll see where I'm supposed to go, where I'm supposed to end up, what I'm supposed to do. I'm sure sooner or later I'll be able to settle down somewheres. I mean, I don't really want to nomad, the rest of my life. I want to get to a point. I mean, I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. Don't get me wrong. However long it lasts, however long it lasts, however long it lasts. It is what it is. But at some point, I'd like to be able to meet somebody else. I'd like to be able to, settle down with somebody, a significant other, enjoy our lives together. And with the amount of money I am hoping to be able to make off of my stocks, travel every year for a couple of months. Whether the whole family goes or just two of us or whatever. It'll be. So yeah, anyways, I ended up making this whole freaking episode about my fucking plans instead of trying to keep this as simple as possible so I can actually just talk about what I want to talk about. So fine, this episode is strictly about my plans. That's fine. And so I guess this will be the first official episode of the Nomad Life subseries. So for those of you that are listening to my show, whether you're interested in, the Nomad Life, part-time, full-time, don't matter, or you are a nomad, again, full-timer, part-timer, doesn't matter. Let me know what you think of the lifestyle. How long were you doing it for? And what do you think of the lifestyle? What tips do you have or advice do you have for those that are getting new? Fisher, stay, Fisher, Fisher, stay, stay. Be good boy, be good boy. Sorry about that. As I'm trying to record this, I am watching Fisher as he's impatiently trying to get to somebody else's dogs. I know Fisher, my dog, just wants to play with them, but the other people might not know that. And as small of a dog as Fisher is, those dogs look like they're smaller than him. I don't need Fisher to accidentally send somebody else in a fucking panic over their dogs. So, trying to keep him here. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying. If you're currently a nomad, part-time or full-time, it doesn't matter. If you have any tips or advice you give to somebody new to the lifestyle, you can go ahead and email me at podcast@redconrad.com with those tips or advice, and whether or not you'd be willing to guest appear on an episode of the Nomad Life show sub-series to discuss the tips and advice you have and your experiences doing it so far. That'd be pretty cool. Now I don't wanna repeat myself a gazillion times, so I'm just gonna say that, okay, so y'all are aware of what my plans are now. You're aware of the change of the name of the sub-series and the change of the tag in front of the episode titles, so you know what shows or what episodes belong to Nomad Life versus what episodes belong to the main Red Conrad Show. And I guess I'm going to call it there. Because to talk about what I wanted to talk about, after just making brief mention of that, it'll probably double the length of this episode, maybe more. So I'll save it for another episode. And it was supposed to be an episode of the main show, not the sub-series. So I'll save that for an episode of the main show, since this ended up becoming the first episode of the Nomad Life series. And on that, I thank you all for listening. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. And I guess I will see you in the next episode. God bless. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Red Conrad Show. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, if you're not listening on Spotify, Spotify is the home of my subscription-only content. Any stories you want to hear that have part one or they're missing pieces on the free side, you gotta hop over to Spotify and subscribe to the subscription content to get the missing pieces of those particular stories. I will see you in the next episode.